Hey guys, welcome back to the Chronically Ill Diaries podcast. I'm your host Jane, and I'm super excited because the last time I talked to you guys, it was a day before my kidney transplant. I was in the hospital. If you listen to it, it was like 11:45 at night or something. And I was just super nervous, super scared, and I kind of just want to tell you guys the process of what happened for me leading up to getting the transplant. So basically, they wanted me to be at the hospital to check in Monday around 2 p.m. We got there at 3, but that's another story. That night, we kind of just did a lot of tests and then waited. And then they told me that my surgery was going to be at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, May 2nd. However, it did not go like that. We woke up in the morning and nothing. They barely checked on me. I was just sitting in the room. I put on normal clothes and actually kept going to the cafeteria. Although that whole day I wasn't allowed to eat, but I just would go with my mom and friends so they could get food, and I just kind of was getting out of that tiny ass room. So that was nice. And under my sweater I had my IVs in and all this shit. But anyway, so it comes to 3 p.m. and still no one tells us anything or knows anything. Every time we ask the nurse, do you know what's going on? Have you heard from the doctor? Is there any notes? They all say the same thing, I don't know, this isn't my specialty. Bro, okay. So around 5-ish, the nurse comes in and she's like, hey, just get back into your gown and do the cleaning thing. If you've ever had surgery, you have to clean your whole body with these wipes. So she's like, do that and then get ready because it's gonna happen soon. But no set time. So finally, the doctor comes in shortly after and he says that we are gonna go around 7-ish, okay? 6:37. So again, I start to get nervous because that is not that far away. And I feel like the reason I was so nervous was because I don't do well when I don't know what to expect. So I've never gotten a major surgery before. I've never been cut open before, really. A lot of things. I always have been thinking ever since I knew I needed this surgery that I was just gonna die on the operating table. That was one of my biggest fears. So I was just super scared, and also lack of information. I just really was just freaking out. So around 6:30-ish, the nurse comes in, she's like, okay, we have transport here and they're gonna take you to the operating room. In that moment, I flipped out. I literally, once she said that, my heart just dropped and I was not excited. There was no ounce of excitement. I was crying. I was like, please, I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. Even though I did, but I was so scared. I didn't know what was gonna happen to me. And then my mom starts crying, my sister is getting sad, and they pack up all my stuff and then they start pushing the bed and I'm crying. And then they get to the operating room doors and that's where I have to say goodbye to my mom, sister, and friends. And it was a very hard goodbye. I did not want to say goodbye because I was so scared. And then they push me in, and right when I go through the doors, a shit ton of nurses, doctors, whatever, they're all just touching me and getting me ready and making sure I have my IV and grabbing my stuff and putting it somewhere else and all that. And so I'm flipping out more because if you've ever seen an operating room, it's cold, it's super bright, and then I saw the bed that the surgery was going to be on, and it was this long, skinny, very skinny little metal bed with a tiny little foam padding on it, and then a weird pillow that hugs your neck. And I looked at that and I'm like, that's where it's happening? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, okay. So I'm still crying at this point, and the anesthesiologist is telling me that, he's like, it's okay, I'm gonna give you something to calm down. I'm like, no, I want you to put me to sleep right now. Just put me to sleep. I don't want to be awake until it's done. Just put me to sleep. And he's like, no, we're gonna give you this medicine to calm you down. And I'm like, okay, whatever, just do something, because I'm flipping out. And right before they give me the medicine to calm me down, I'm still crying, and I see the doctor cutting open a box with, like, it obviously came like in a mail type form, and I'm like, is that my kidney? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, can I please see it before it goes inside of me? I want to see what it looks like. And they're like, no, you can't see it. And I'm like, that's so lame, it's mine now. But anyway, I just thought that it was a little weird too that he was barely opening the kidney, because I know they have to do tests on it before they follow through with the surgery. But if they did do tests on it, I was asleep, or they just didn't do tests on it. But anyway, so they have me get onto that scary metal bed. I lay down, I'm still crying, I'm freaking the fuck out. And then he's like, okay, you're gonna be fine. He puts the calming medicine in me, and I don't remember anything after that. The next thing I remember is I feel like I'm being moved, but I don't know if I was being moved. It felt like it. I couldn't open my eyes yet, and I was in the most pain I have ever felt in my life. Note to doctors or nurses, freaking give them pain meds before you take away the anesthesia, because that shit hurts so bad. And like my eyes were closed, and I was like, help. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, it hurts. Like, I didn't even know what I was fucking saying. I was out of it. I was fucking high off the drugs, and they gave me the medicine, and instantly it just went away. So I don't know what they gave me, but it worked. And when I finally could open my eyes, I opened them, and there's like 4 or 5 nurses surrounding me in the little recovery like cubicle thing. And I look at the clock, and it's like right past midnight, like barely past midnight. I'm like, damn, that took a long time. So I'm just in there, and they're just doing a bunch of things to me. I look down at my arms, and I went in with 1 IV, and I came out with like 4. And I'm like, thank God they did that when I was asleep. I also woke up with a catheter in, which I knew, but it just was very uncomfortable from the second I woke up. And then also a drain, and it's like in my very low like pelvis abdomen area. So all that shit was in me, and I was just like totally out of it. And then around 1-ish, they let my mom come back, and I'm just talking to her. She called my dad. I talked to my dad and thank him for donating his kidney, because that was the reason that I was there. I think it was around 2 a.m. when they finally let me leave that recovery area, and they moved me into my room. That would be my room for the next couple of days. And again, once they got in there, they were doing all the vitals, everything. So me and Franz didn't get to go to sleep till about 4-something a.m. It was super late. I couldn't go to sleep because they literally wouldn't leave me alone for another 2 hours. It was just constant, like doing shit to me. So it was very hard. I was so tired, obviously. And Franz was tired too. We woke up at like 8 a.m. the day before, and he still hasn't gone to sleep. So it was very scary. And then I got to say goodbye to my mom, my sister, and then we finally went to sleep. And then for the first day, they were waking me up every hour to collect my urine, drain my drain, and do vitals. Every hour. And it was so fucking annoying. But luckily, it was only the first day. And I didn't get out of bed at all the first day. What they tried to do was get me up and just sit in a chair directly next to the bed, but the pain was so bad, I just couldn't do it. So I just sat up and then laid back down. That was all I did the first day. But that was literally like the day of the surgery technically. And then on the next day, which was the 4th, I was able to stand up, get weighed, and I think I walked like for 30 seconds max, and then I came right back. It was very, very short, but it was so painful. And I think what made it even more painful was the catheter, because it like pulls. It just wasn't comfortable. It hurts, like, I don't know. So that made it even harder to just walk. And of course the incision. And so if you're watching on the video on YouTube, I'm wearing like this white binder on me, which is basically like, you know, like it's like a Velcro waist trainer. They didn't give me one yet. So I was like using my stomach muscles unintentionally. So it was very painful. So that walk was very short. And then the 3rd day, I was able to go to the bathroom. I was walking to the bathroom if I had to try to go. And then I did a very much longer walk, which was probably like a 2-minute walk, but it was down 2 hallways. So I was very proud of myself for that. So yeah, and I was getting up like a couple times on that day. And then on Friday, which was 3 days post-op, they sent me home in the evening. So they took out my catheter, they took out my drain, which they told me both wouldn't hurt, and they both fucking did. The catheter coming out, it was only like this much stuff, like 2 inches. The drain was, I'm telling you, at least 5 inches inside of me that they had to pull out. Oh my god, it was so disgusting. And then when the last little part came out, like fluid, blood flinged onto my face, and it was the most disgusting, painful. It was just I wanted to throw up. I didn't look at it, but it was so disgusting. I never want to go through that again. It was just so gross. And then they bandaged me all up. They're like, are you ready? Put on your normal clothes and you can go. So I just got discharged from the hospital, and they wheeled me down to the car, and I came to this apartment. So Stanford, if you don't know, is in Palo Alto, Bay Area, California. And there's this program where if you are post-operation or whatever, you can stay in these apartments across the street from Stanford for a month max. And it's at a very discounted rate, and it's literally just a normal apartment, furnished and everything. And so we came straight to this apartment, and this is where we live now for a month. So that's kind of fun, and I love the Bay Area, so this is like amazing for me. I love it. And then after this month, I will be going back home to Modesto, where my mom lives, and that's where I will recover for another month. And then after that, I'm going back to Scottsdale. So I have, for the first month, the reason why we're staying out here is because I have appointments 2 times a week. And the traffic to get to Stanford from my mom's house in the morning time is like a 3-hour drive. With commuter traffic, it's fucking shit. So it's just much easier when I have 2 appointments a week to do it to live out here. But next month, I only have to do it 1 time a week appointments. So it's doable to like go through that shit just once, not twice, just once. It's still gonna suck, but 1 time a week, and that's it. So yeah, when I did go to my first appointment, it was on Monday, May 8th. I met with the doctor, got my blood work, all that done, and they basically said that I was about 2 weeks ahead of the average person that just got a kidney transplant, because at that day, it was only 6 days post-op, and I was already able to like go outside. I went to Target, I walked around the whole store. It was hard, obviously, but I was able to do it. And then also, Normally people take like narcotics, whatever, for at least 2 weeks and are usually like bedridden. Not bedridden, but like they basically just relax, don't leave their house for like 2 weeks. But I obviously was leaving the house and I wasn't taking those narcotics. I was only taking like strong Tylenol. It still hurts, don't get me wrong, but I don't need the narcotics. I just never liked that type of shit, and I don't want to start now unless I need it. If I need it, fuck it, I'm gonna take it. I don't want to be in fucking pain, but I haven't been in that much pain, so I think I've been fine. Like the other day, 2 days ago, my friend came to visit and we literally went to lunch. We walked around the mall, we went shopping, we went to Phil's, which if you know me, you know Phil's is my favorite fucking coffee since forever. My sister showed me Phil's, and after that it was fucking done because that's my favorite fucking coffee, and they don't have it in Arizona. It's like a San Francisco coffee. So it's more norcal, and when I lived in San Diego, there was only like 2 out there, but it was 15 minutes away. Fine. This one here in Palo Alto is like 5 minutes away, and it's amazing because I'm gonna get my fix while I'm out here because it's so fucking good. Anyway, if you haven't tried Phil's, go get Phil's. Filtered Soul, extra creamy, extra sweet. You're welcome. Anyway, the only thing that's going to take like a little adjusting is my medication list. If you are watching from or just listening on the podcast and you want to see what I'm holding up to the camera and showing, I'm showing my medication list, and I'm going to show you my bag of pills to just give you like a visual of how many pills I'm on. All these pills won't be for life, but like a handful of them will be, which is fine because I've been on pills ever since I got diagnosed with lupus. So it's nothing crazy to be on a handful of pills, but to be on this many pills and to have to time them around my eating, around like so many things, it's like a little difficult, but it's okay. I'm kind of used to it already, but it's still a challenge. It's very new. It's pills that I'm not familiar with, the names and whatnot. So I am on 17 different pills. Mind you, some of them are ones I've been taking before, like Plaquenil, which is for my lupus. I've been on that since I was a kid. Zyzal, which is an allergy medicine, like just things like that. And some of them are as needed, so it's not that bad. But I'm just gonna list them and tell you what they're for, and yeah, and then I'll tell you which ones I will be on for life. So Prograf, Celcept, and Prednisone. Those ones I will for sure be on for life because they're anti-rejection pills. Those ones are kind of annoying because I'm not supposed to eat an hour before or an hour after I take that pill. And it's really annoying because it makes you more hungry knowing you can't eat, you know what I mean? So it's just really annoying, and you have to time shit, so it's just annoying. So I take those at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Prednisone, if you know about prednisone, luckily I was so surprised. I'm pretty sure in the last podcast I said that I'm gonna be so fat, that's why I'm not gonna record any more videos for a couple months. No, it didn't do anything to me. I think what makes you blow up and react to prednisone is when your lupus is acting up. That's what makes you blow up. But my lupus is under control right now, and my body is reacting so well to the kidney that I stay the same. If anything, I lost weight actually. I'm like, this morning I weighed in at 129.2 pounds, and when I went in I was 140 point something pounds. So a lot of water came off of me. It was fucking crazy. Actually, sorry, side note, the day before I went into surgery, for a couple days before, my feet were just swollen, and it would go up to like my knee area. It was very uncomfortable. I was swollen like in my neck area, like neck to face area, and I was just very swollen. My stomach was swollen. And when I came out of surgery, everything was just like slimmed down. All the water already came out. The doctor said that the second they hooked it up, the kidney, it instantly started peeing, which is crazy. But yeah, so I've been peeing a fucking lot. I haven't peed this much, like TMI, I haven't peed this much in like 5 years. Since my kidneys first like started going downhill in 2018. Like, it's crazy. And obviously they said that it's going to get better. I'm not gonna pee so much once my body gets used to it and like having pee again. But right now, it's so much. I could look at water and I will have to pee, okay? It's annoying. But it's a good thing. Also, I haven't had an appetite for years. And even like if I ate in the morning, I would feel like I'm gonna throw up. I have been eating so much. It's probably bad because I'm relaxing a lot, not working out, nothing. But I'm enjoying the fact that I enjoy food again, because food was never fun for me for like at least the last 2-ish years, because everything made me feel sick. It was very annoying. But anyway, back to the list. I'm on Bactrim Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is to prevent bacterial infections. Oh gosh, these names are so hard. I'm on another one that is to prevent virus infections. I'm on a multivitamin, Pepsid, to prevent like stomach ulcers and indigestion. And I'm taking this like fluid or liquid stuff after 3 meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Snacks is fine, and that is to prevent let's see, it is to prevent fungal infections in my throat and mouth area, so that's kind of fun. Luckily, I only have to take most of those ones that I just listed for a couple months to a year, but some of them are a couple months, some of them are to a year max. But the first 3 I mentioned, the anti-rejections, those will be for life, till I die. Plaquenil will probably be till I die. That's my lupus pill. Zizal, my allergy pill, for life. Aspirin, just a couple months, to prevent blood clots. This is just helpful too while I'm not really active. I'm not moving a lot, so you could get blood clots easier. And then I'm also on Tylenol. I take it every 6-ish hours. I'm pretty on that just because I don't want the pain. And then they provided me with a narcotic, but I have only taken that the first night I came home. So again, if you want to check out the YouTube channel, you can see what I'm holding up, which is my 17 pill bottles. So these are the pill bottles that I take, and they're all numbered. I don't know if you can see that, but they're all numbered, and that way I know which is which, and I don't have to try to look for those annoying ass names. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty good experience. Like I said, when I don't know what to expect, that's when I freak out, and that's why I was freaking out. Same when they took out the catheter, they took out the drain, I was freaking out. I wasn't crying and like freaking out like that, but I definitely was like, had super bad anxiety just because I didn't know what to expect, and I was just like not letting the doctor do it because I was scared of what to expect. But whatever, it happened, it's done, it's fine. But yeah, it was a really good experience. I'm doing really, really good. I will keep updating with everything on my Instagram. So if you want to follow the Chronically Ill Diaries on Instagram, you can keep up with me even more, because I know these podcasts and these videos are only once a week. So you can just get a more inside scoop on how I'm healing, how I'm doing, and all of that. I just want to thank you all again for downloading this podcast, watching the videos. It really does mean a lot, and I hope that if you're going through this situation, if you know someone that is, that it's very helpful for you in a way, and maybe you can even feel like someone's just there with you, because I know it is very lonely to not be able to like have someone to talk to or whatever, or just feel like someone understands, because I really do understand, and I really do get how scary it is to just go through something, let alone go through something and just no one fucking gets it. Even if they're trying to get it, they just fucking don't get it. So I totally get it. If you ever want to reach out on here, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, feel free. I will reply to you eventually. I'm really bad at it. But again, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support, all the love, all the reaching out, all the positive, good vibes. It really, 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 really did mean a lot, because that shit was scary, and I love you guys. So stay tuned. Next week, there'll be another video and another podcast. We'll jump off this kidney train. No, I'm just kidding. Who knows what we'll talk about next week, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna end the podcast here. However, if you wanna jump over to my YouTube channel, this video is gonna have a little bit more extra content on there if you wanna see that. If not, I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you guys. Alrighty, so I just wanted to show you guys like kind of my body. So this is the waist trainer thing that I told you about. It's just like a squishy padded Velcro thing. And so basically what I do, I'm gonna cut off the bottom, is I just wrap it and don't let it go past my middle, because the scar goes from here up. So I don't want it to touch my scar. But this is basically what I walk around looking like. I wish I brought cuter clothes, because I didn't bring barely any clothes from home, from Scottsdale, because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be in bed. No, I've been doing shit, and I have this ugly ass clothes. Brought this fucking crop top for the gym before I went to surgery, but yeah, not gonna go out like this. But this is the fit, and I just really wanted to say again, thank you guys for all the love, all the support, all the messages, all the texts, watching these videos, listening to the podcast, and I just really appreciate you guys. And I will see you next week with a new video and a new podcast. All right, bye guys.